Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Bats server, but this is not a Bats episode. I recently hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely mind-boggling, the number of people. But I wanted to make a video, and I was thinking back over the past, I guess it's been 10 months. I wanted to say that it was just about a year, but really 10 months, it's not quite a year. I still got a couple months to go before it's my 1-year anniversary of YouTube. But over the past 10 months, so much has happened, and I thought it would be fun to kind of look back, see where I started, because the other thing that I did was I went back and I looked at like some of the earlier videos I made, which are hilarious, and I'm gonna include a few clips of those. I believe that I still have them all saved on my hard drive, so I don't have to like download them from YouTube. But where should we start? By the way, we're on the Bat server because I was just doing some prep work for my next Bats episode, and I thought that I might as well do some of this. Whoops! Oh, that is way faster breaking than I thought. I may as well do some of this while we talk. What I'm doing is I'm getting one of each villager type, and I'm putting them in this little building, but you'll see all that in just a sec. So, let's start at the very beginning, right? Start with, I guess, my first introduction to YouTube, which was through Etho. And Etho is, to this day, still my favorite YouTuber. I'm sorry for being so generic, but I just love his videos so much. And yeah, he's the first YouTuber that I really watched, and it sort of got me into Minecraft. I mean, I knew about Minecraft in about alpha, but after watching Etho for a little while, I've really started to get into Minecraft in, I think, around beta. I want to say it was a little bit before they added the hunger bar. So, I don't know exactly when that was, but it was, I guess at this point, years ago, which is kind of weird to think. But anyway, so I was all about survival for about a year. I stuck purely to survival, no multiplayer, no modded, anything like that. And then I sort of, well, oh, okay, the other thing I should say, I found Etho, I think it was a few months before he joined Minecraft. So, a little while after I found Etho, I also discovered Minecraft in their server, and that's what sort of really got me interested in survival and all that stuff. So I played survival, nothing else, and then eventually I got into a little bit of modded, some multiplayer. I like to play a little bit of PvP. I think I used to play on, I think it was just called Minecraft. They still have it. I played on it a little while ago. I played a Capture the Flag. It's like Minecraft PvP. .com is the IP or something like that, very generic, and I liked that a lot. So then, what really started me on YouTube, I didn't even plan to do it, but I started the Bat server. That's what we're on right now, and that was basically just, I liked Minecraft so much. All right, so we got, oh wait a minute, you just say villager. What the heck, man? You're supposed to be like a weaponsmith or something. This is 1.8. Get your update on. Alright, well, we'll just leave you there for now. I guess how many slots do I have? I'm going to need more slots anyway, so you can stay there. But I already have one librarian, and now we have just a regular villager. Apparently some of these guys are pre-1.8, so I guess a little bit glitched out. Anyway, I got interested in Minecraft and the survival multiplayer and stuff, and I always wanted a server like that. And I never really knew how if that was possible. Could I actually get a server like that? It seemed sort of more of a dream than something that I could actually just go out and do. But eventually, and this is about 10 months ago, I guess, maybe a little more than 10 months ago, I just Googled whitelisted, multiplayer survival server, yada yada. Do we want a butcher? I guess we might as well, just for the sake of having one of each. Take you out. I just Googled that, and I found on the Minecraft forums that there was a whole bunch of servers listed and everything. So I looked through, and I found a couple that looked decent. I can't remember if I applied to one. I found one that I sort of liked, and I might have applied to it. And then I sort of looked into it further, and I realized that it was, come on, move. I realized that it was really just, it was one person running the server, and he wasn't, I sort of had this dream of like it being like Minecraft, where everyone was sort of a part of the server, and it didn't seem like that's what he was trying to do. He just sort of he made the server and he was running it and everything, and people would join, but it didn't have the feel, and I didn't join it, so I don't know what it's like, which is why I'm not gonna like say its name or anything. But it just didn't feel like it would be what I was looking for. So I decided to make my own server, and I started the Bat server. I spent a few days coming up with a name actually. BATS, by the way, in case you didn't know, stands for Building and Technical Survival. And I forget. I wish I kept the names. Although the list of all the names I wanted, I think BATS turned out pretty well. But I had a whole bunch of different ones, and I was sort of smart about it. I wanted a name that could be like branded. Like I wanted if you looked up BATS SMP for it to show up. So I tried out a few things, a few names, other names that I liked, but there were already servers named after it. So I wanted it to be unique. And as it turns out, having it named BATS probably isn't the smartest thing if you want to really brand it, because even though something like BATS server will have it show up, just bats or something like that would never, whereas Mindcrack, of course, that would show up if you Googled it. Okay, so we have Butcher. It's going to get tricky to remember all the ones that we have. But anyway, I came up with a name, and boy, I'm taking a long time telling this story. So I posted on the forums about it, and I posted about just what I thought I wanted it to be. This is another villager. You're just a normal blacksmith. I wonder if I can get the all the different diamond gear from you. I'm guessing not. I wonder if let's try trading with this guy. Let's see if he turns into something else or what happens to him. So I sort of like explained in there that I want it to be like a community feel, and a lot of people seem to like it. And I think with the first round of applications, I accepted just a few people. Oh yeah, see now he's a toolsmith. All right, hold on then. Let's go see if that's going to happen with this guy too. Oh no, he's going to be a weaponsmith because he has a sword. All right, let's bring over. So first round of applications, I accepted maybe 3 people. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around 3 people. And after that, and then I started the server. I ended up running the server from my computer for, I think, around a month before I ended up actually buying one. Just because I didn't really feel like spending the money on a server, and I didn't know anything about hosting a server other than hosting it from my computer, which I used to do to play with friends. So I just hosted it from there. I kept it up 24/7, and honestly, the server ran really well for my computer, but it wasn't great to have a server running on my computer the whole time. So I ended up buying one, and about a couple weeks in, I guess, to the server, maybe like a week and a half, I think a couple of other people decided to start YouTube, and I hadn't really thought about it. I thought about starting YouTube before, but I didn't. It just sort of came together because I had started the Bat server, and I was like, oh, this is like perfect. I can record on here, and I don't know, it just seemed to fit. So I tried it out. I recorded my first episode. Honestly, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't terrible. So I went ahead and I bought a mic. I ended up getting a Logitech H330, not a G330. That's what I have right now. Let's actually not use that. Not a G330. That's what I have right now, and that's the mic that Etho also uses, as a matter of fact. That's where I got the idea to get this mic. But I got the... Oh, you're not going to fit. Oh, you did. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's where I got the idea for the G330. But the H330, I guess it's like its little brother, even though doesn't H come after G in the alphabet? Alright, let's see. We need a couple more of these. So, I got that mic, and I started recording, and I guess I'll include a short little clip. Maybe just of the first few seconds of that video. Hello guys, and welcome to the Bat server. My name's Keth, and this is my first video up on YouTube. It's gonna be sort of like a talky episode. I think By the way, I just went ahead and I watched it too. So I think that it could have been worse. I mean, definitely I was new to YouTube, but I think it wasn't horrible for a first video ever. I'm gonna give myself some credit. I don't. It could have been worse. And I was actually, I did. So what did I do for like practicing? I think that I tried a whole bunch of recordings beforehand, and at this time I decided to just go ahead and use Windows Movie Maker as my video editing software because that was the only one that I had on my computer, and it's really easy to use. And I honestly, I think that is fine if you want to use, if you want to start YouTube and use Windows Movie Maker. I think it's a good idea. It's very easy to use. You can even upload directly to YouTube from it, stuff like that. There are a lot of advantages. It has some nice intro and outro scenes, or not scenes, like little thingies that I think I even used for my intro. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it worked out for me. I think about 3 weeks in or so, I switched to Sony Vegas. And I also, I had to get Fraps, of course. That's the recording software that I started off using for YouTube, and I still use it right now. And I haven't run into any trouble. I haven't found anything bad about Fraps. I also tried DX Story and maybe even Bandicam, just like the free versions. I tried them out, but I couldn't like figure them out as well as I could Fraps. Fraps is just much easier for me. And it seems like most people, I'd say Fraps is a little more popular than other ones. So I went ahead and used that, and I still use it. So I made the Bat server, and then I made videos on the Bat server, and then what was next? I think I did a little bit of PvP with people from the Bat server, and if I'm not mistaken, oh, you know what? No, I didn't do tutorials next. Wait, is this Shepherd? Yeah, we don't have a Shepherd either. Boy, we're going to need a lot more slots. I think there are like 12 or 16, something like that, villagers now. So, next up, I believe I made PvP trick shots. And this was sort of my little attempt at, like, how... Shouldn't you have launched? There you go. What are you? You're a toolsmith. Look away, guys. Alright. It wasn't nothing. He was never there. Cleric! Ooh, that's a good one. This was sort of my attempt. PvP trick shots. I was having a lot of fun with PvP stuff, and I was thinking, you know, I want to do something a little unique, and I think that's really important when you're in YouTube. You want to do something a little bit unique, and I started off, well, later I got into tutorials, but I started off with PvP trick shots, and oh my gosh, looking back on those was probably the biggest palm face ever. Like, that was, oh, they were horrible. But on the other hand, at the time they got, I think I posted them on Reddit, and then ended up getting like 100 views or something, and that was crazy. And you know, every once in a while, maybe one of them would get noticed on Reddit, or like people would like it a little bit, and that was yeah, I mean, it helped my channel grow, I guess. But looking back, it's so funny. Just I don't really know what I was thinking. I was sort of mixing like Call of Duty and Minecraft, I guess. But anyway, here's a little clip of that, and you can tell they're not even really like trick shots. Like, they're sort of, there's some of them are like 360 and stuff like that. But if it was like in Call of Duty, I would just get all the hate in the world from how like terrible they are. So anyway, here's a little clip of that. Yeah, so that was that, and I only did a couple of those. I think I only did 2 in total, and then let's see, I went back to survival for a little bit, and then this is where it all starts. My first tutorial that I did, which was a cow farm, and I don't remember where I got the idea for it, but I just sort of got in my head, well, I should try out tutorials because I love doing redstone. I'd already built I don't think I had built that cow farm before, but I'd already designed tons of farms of my own, and I was thinking, like, why not post some of them on YouTube? So I went ahead and I made my first tutorial ever, which is a cow farm. It used, I think it's still a pretty nifty design. Maybe not the most useful. The one disadvantage is that it uses flint and steel, so eventually that runs out. But I think it's pretty good. So let me go. I actually didn't go back to watch that one, so let me go do that now, and I'll also put a little clip of it up for you guys. Hey you guys, Kef here, and today I have something a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you how to make this automated cow farm. Oh boy, yeah, that microphone quality. Should probably have moved it away from my mouth a little bit. Sometimes I wonder if, looking back on these videos and how horrible quality, I'd imagine that in, like 6 months from now, I could look back on this video and say the exact same thing. So, I guess I shouldn't like rag on them. Another weaponsmith. Oh no, we had a toolsmith last time. Yeah, so just a villager. You're gonna be an armorer, I'd imagine. Let's see. So yeah, that was an interesting tutorial. I think it's a pretty nifty design, and to this day, it is the second most popular video on my channel, it's actually about to be replaced. Did that not update anything for you? It's actually about to be replaced as the second most popular because my chicken farm is also very popular. So this guy might be special. He might actually be stuck as an old blacksmith. So let's bring him over. And shortly after that, I posted that on Reddit. I think it also got maybe like a couple hundred views probably, which again was completely crazy to me that that many people, and it's still crazy. If you think a couple hundred people took the time, I mean, they probably didn't watch the whole thing, but maybe took the time like 30 seconds to a minute to like look at it. It's pretty cool to think about. And the next one I did was the wheat farm. I'm still proud of that design, actually. I think it's pretty good. For what it's worth, the redstone for it was pretty complicated. And I ended up doing a tutorial on that. Boy, that was... I ended up doing it in a Skype call with MH because we designed it together, and the audio quality was just so horrible in that Skype call. Anyway, though, so that's actually still my most popular video. Again, it's slowly being crept up on by the chicken farm tutorial that I did. But yeah, that's still my most popular, which is so crazy to me because of how horrible the quality is. I just can't even imagine how that's the case. Oh, we should be going the other way this time, actually. But anyway, so I did the tutorial, and time went on, and then it happened. This was my big break, so to speak. My first big break, I guess you could say, was the witch farm. So I made a witch farm which used basically a little crusher system to get instant health potions from witches. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if I've ever told this, but I almost didn't release that video because I just thought it was kind of a stupid idea. I was like, well, this is, I mean, it's kind of neat, but people probably have done this before. It's like, it's not that difficult to do. So I'd imagine that people have done this. They might just be like, wow, obviously, like, everyone knows that you can do this. Why would you even make a tutorial on it? But I was like, all right, well, I'll put it out there. So I put it out, and it was extremely popular. People just really seemed to like it a lot. And then the absolute craziest thing ever, and I still remember the moment. So I get an email notification anytime someone subscribes or comments on one of my videos. I still do, and I did back then as well. And I remember I was checking my emails one time, and I saw like randomly that there were, I think, about like 20 or so. What am I looking for? I get a new villager. There were about 20 or so people who had just subscribed to me. I was like, what the heck happened? Like, what sort of fluke made this happen? At the time, I think I had under 100 subs, maybe, definitely under a couple hundred subs. I already have a butcher. You can die. And I was like, wow, like, how is that possible? And then I was sifting through the emails, and I saw one person said, that Doc M liked one of your videos, and I was like, no, there's no way. This person has got to be trolling me. But sure enough, I went over. What was he? He was a shepherd. Okay. Sure enough, did I just hear a zombie? I guess these guys are all safe, but yeah, no, you cannot be here. Oh, there's a whole train of them. Well, two, anyway. So yeah, I was just amazed. I went on to Doc's channel, checked it out. Sure enough, he had liked one of my videos. He had liked the potion farm. And that was seconded. I think that was one of the highlights of my my journey through YouTube so far. But I think the highlight was a few weeks later, Doc actually used my design on the Minecraft server, and this was actually an updated design that I made. I made one that you could switch between the different potion types that witches can drop. Toolsmith, I have you. I wonder who I'm missing. I don't actually know if I'm missing anyone at this point. I might just be killing villagers. So yeah, that was probably the craziest moment. And oh, Leatherworker. I don't have you yet. That was absolutely crazy that he did that. I'd never. Not only was it like someone, a YouTuber who I'd watched for so long, and like I've watched his redstone stuff and all that, but it was also the very first time that I'd seen anyone actually use my design. And even though I'm sure before that, you know, some people had used a design of mine, I never saw like a video of it, and it was kind of crazy to see him build it and then be like, yeah, I made that. And now someone else is using it. Like that was just sort of, that was crazy. And of course the fact that it was Doc M, I mean that was just completely insane. And I guess let me include a clip of, I'm trying to think what would be the best thing. I think that original potion farm video that I made, let's do a little clip of that. You light the TNT, and just before the TNT goes off, pistons extend and crush the witches for just a second. And then the drops will go here, and it also works as an experience farm. Alright, so that wasn't as bad as some of the earlier videos. I was a little more used to YouTube at that point, I think. So I continued on, I guess. Let's see. What's the next sort of big event? I continued on to making more tutorials. I made a storage system tutorial. I made an iron golem farm tutorial. This is kind of something interesting. So the iron golem farm I used eggs for, and there's this really neat sort of technique you can use where if you knock a mob off of a ledge using eggs, well really if you just hit a mob with an egg and then it dies shortly after, you'll get credit for the kill, so it can drop special items and stuff like that, and you get experience for it. And I actually made a witch farm that had that sort of quality, and it makes it so that you can make it completely AFK. So you can just sit there holding down right click and then you'll just keep throwing the eggs and the witches will drop potions. And that one actually, surprisingly, was not as popular as some of the others. It's a little less, I guess, sort of neat. It's a little more messy. They don't drop them as frequently. It's not quite as fine-tuned as the other ones. Okay, there we go. That's weird. It's like I have to push them in twice before it works. But yeah, I made that, and I also made an iron golem farm that used that same technique, and that's probably one of the things I'm most proud of discovering, actually, because it's a really cool sort of technique to use eggs as a means of killing them. It's something you wouldn't really think of. So, continuing on, let's jump to not long ago at all, maybe like a month ago, when I made those 3x3 farms. I started making mini farms, and come to think of it, both my cow farm and my wheat farm were both 3x3? The cow farm might have been 4x3. They're both very small, and that's because I just really like doing redstone in small. Boy, that's interesting. Are you? Oh, okay. They're just like invisible. Very strange. Okay, so I really like doing redstone in small sort of areas. I think it provides a really nice challenge for me. I like I like the logic behind redstone, but then compacting it, it's just so much fun to try to get it, see how small you can get it, and then you always have to try out tons of different ways, even if it ends up looking so simple and being so simple. I always try out even the more complicated ways, most of which don't turn out to be very effective, but I always try out different ways and I just have fun doing that. So that's why I really like to make the small farms, and those seem to do really well. And then I almost had deja vu one day when I was looking through my emails and suddenly I realized, well, okay, I looked at my emails one day and I realized that I had like 40 subs in the past, hour or so. And I was like, man, how is that possible? And it turns out that a Spanish YouTuber, Alex El Capo, had used all three of those little mini farm designs in one of his episodes. And it was just sort of like, it made me think right back to when Doc had used my design, had liked my video, had used my design. And it was just so cool to see someone use my, wait, armor. Do I have an armor? Toolsmith? Villager? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, let's see if this guy turns into a weaponsmith. It was just so cool again to see someone use my designs and think that they were like good enough to use and everything. Oh, you turned into an armorer, but you sell a diamond sword. Haha. Alright, well then, do you sell a diamond sword? You don't. Sorry, guy. You're not up to my standards. And yeah, so that was really neat. And I guess that pretty much brings us to the present, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. So, boy, it's been such a cool thing doing YouTube. I've liked it a lot. Let's see. Let's thinking back, I guess I said it's been about 10 months. And I think it's probably getting close to 200 videos. I remember when I had a 100 video special. I think I put out, that's when I did, oh, I completely breezed over, probably subconsciously, this was probably intentional. I completely breezed over the fact that I made a little Minecraft parody, which I will not include in here. Farmer. I don't think I have a farmer. Awesome. I'll keep you. And you're important because you trade like, yeah, you trade all sorts of good stuff for emeralds. So, the little parody I did, that was, so I love music. Oh, I skipped over the other music thing that I did too. Right over here, in fact. So this is back, alright, this is back after I think my first 2 tutorials. So this was really early on, maybe a month in. And it was Christmas time because I started in November? Yeah, I started in November, so a month later it was Christmas time. And I decided to do some stuff with note blocks. I love music. Oh! Some of it is out of tune. So this is Oh Christmas Tree. And I also made Angels We Have Heard on High, I believe. Not on the server. But as you can hear, they don't really work great on the server, both because the lag makes the rhythm off, and because I've messed up some of the notes here just from running around and accidentally right-clicking. But at one time, it sounded like a real song, and I was pretty proud of that. I really like music, and I just love music, or note blocks in Minecraft. They're very underused, in my opinion. Particularly in survival. You don't really see them used a whole lot in survival. But I really enjoyed making that, and all the harmonies for it and stuff. Learned some stuff about music that I hadn't previously known, and about how note blocks work, and all that good stuff. And then I made Angels We've Heard on High. And then you could almost say the forte of my Minecraft music experience was making a little parody of, I think it was a parody of Let Her Go, and I called it Sun Is Low. See, you get the comparison there. And yeah, I'm not going to include that because I think it sounds absolutely horrible now. I recorded it using, at that point, was it my G330 headset? It might have been. No. See, the thing is, oh yeah, because that wasn't a month after I'd started YouTube. That was later on. Yeah, so that was definitely was my G. I remembered using my G330 headset for it, which isn't meant by any means to record vocals, which is one of the reasons it sounds so bad. But I remember using that mic, and I was like, but it couldn't have been a month in because I didn't get my G330 until maybe like 3 or so months into YouTube. But that pretty much sums up my journey through YouTube. So I would like to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank everyone who's subscribed to me. It means so much that there are that many people out there who watch my videos and enjoy them and were willing to subscribe to me. That is just so amazing. Absolutely crazy. So, thank you for watching. As long as I didn't forget anything, this will be the end of the episode. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.